but I appreciate everything that everyone does. Thank you.
Fabulous, thank you very much. It is an absolute honour for me to have been asked to be up here in the commentary box for this. Like you say, without question, bittersweet, but it is a privilege. Very, very special cause. Unfortunately, to more people than we wish it was. So we need to keep that money coming in, keep the research going, so that we can win this fight a little bit quicker. And what a great way to do it, that we can capture your attention, capture your imagination with some great racing out there in some terrible conditions, but it is a great way to do it. We seem to be missing Maxime Menu out on the circuit. That's the kart that seems to be missing. And off we go. So Maxime doesn't seem to have made it out there. I hope that there's nothing serious. We may get an update a little bit later, and off they go. And that does mean that J. Elliott Purdy won the heat earlier, has got that front row to himself, and that's probably a nightmare for everybody else in that race, because it's enabled Jay to just romp away at the start there. I say that though, who's that in second position that's actually managed to break free of everybody else and up into Christmas corner, just sort of lunged a little bit late there. I don't know whether that's going to be any great advantage as they make their way back down towards Ashby. It just has compromised, but look at that side by side for third position. That basically everybody else is fourth. I think that's the easiest way to say it, as they're squirreling, and second position car just went backwards onto the grass there, and as a few others have done, but from second position in that race, closing in on our leader, and that's just going to allow J. Elliott Purdy to just scream away at the start now with a very comfortable margin indeed. Now I'm going to assume that was Martin Joyce that was in second and threw it at the scenery coming through Ashby, as so many have done, so don't panic about that. I have just noticed that the number 2 kart itself is on the grass in the middle there, so I'm assuming that's the one with the issue, and it's a shame that means that Maxine's not out there, but J. Elliott is nice and comfortably in the lead as they come through to complete their opening lap. Through he goes to complete one lap, and second position is now Dan Milner. So Dan Milner, who actually started in 11th position, is up into second. Then it's Alex Abbey Taylor in third. Fourth position is James Coleman. Fifth, Johnny Goddard. I know a few people were cheering for Johnny. Sixth is Daniel Truman. Look at that. Rihanna Percox started in 20th position. I said she was going to come screaming through. 20th to 7th on the opening lap. What an incredible opening lap that is. And very possible to make up more positions pretty quickly, because that's this massive gaggle from sort of fourth backwards, barreling down towards Ashby as we speak, and squirreling on the brakes, trying to get the kart stopped instead of throwing it at the grass that they know they can't get back off again once they go there. And they've all managed to do that cleanly, thank goodness. But still, out in front is J. Elliott Purdy, comfortably there. The gap was 2.9 from Dan Milner in second the last time they came through. As heading around the boot is our lead 2. Third is a very lonely Alex Abbey Taylor. But then it is this massive gaggle of karts that are basically just joined together, trying to go 3 abreast around the right-hander of boot that time round. That was rather interesting. And you'll see this gaggle coming towards us on the camera footage now. Look at that. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, as quick as that as they come in to your shot. But it is still blissfully unaware of all this going on. J. Elliott Purdy out in front, 2.8. I think that from memory, that's about the same as it was last time round. So Dan Milner's checked his progress, but not really making his own progress at the moment. As third position, lonely third position for Alex Abbey Taylor, and then 4th, 5th, 6th were all side by side exiting Christmas corner. Look at it on the camera now. It's no wonder that's the bit that we're focusing on. James Coleman, Johnny Goddard, Daniel Truman, Rihanna Percox, Henry Miles, Owen Barton, Pedro Neto. I think all of those are in that lot, trying to go round Ashby again. The right hand hairpin that is tricky at the best of times. Now try doing that 3 abreast. Goodness me. Less than 3.5 minutes remaining, so we're now over halfway through this race as our second place driver has just lost it on the exit of Chapman. He just beautifully pirouetted that round. I almost feel like I should be on Strictly Come Dancing. 7! It was a beautiful spin round, but it's cost him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 places that gaggle was so close behind. So I think that he's going to be rather frustrated. So that's Alex Abbey Taylor. That is now going to be way, way, way down this field, having been in a very lonely third position. I'd imagine he suddenly had a bit of a sniff that he could put a bit of a challenge on Dan Milner and start reeling him in. Dan Milner's only fractionally reeled in our leader, so Jay looking again like he's probably in quite good control at the moment. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining as he's now making his way down towards Ashby. J. Elliott Purdy still in the lead. Second, Dan Milner. Third now is Johnny Goddard. And in fact, he has managed, Johnny Goddard's managed to break away from this gaggle behind him now, which is going to be great news to him. Now, is he going to be able to make any kind of challenge onto the others? Lap time wise, not yet, but of course that whole opening couple of laps was under massive amounts of pressure. Leader is now making his way through Chapman. Still J. Elliott Purdy in the lead. That is possibly slightly closer. Dan Milner, 2.759 was the gap last time round. Is he just starting to reel him in? Possible, but let's not lose sight of the fact that Jay, after his last victory, knew what speed to go at. That meant that he was in control, but he wasn't taking undue risks. I think he's probably doing the same again. God, the speed that they're going into the boot there, that is, look, very sideways there. Through goes our leader, new fastest lap of the race, 1:18.851. And it's actually gone out, 3.148. How to make a liar of the commentator. He's actually stretched out. In fact, that's going to stretch out even further because the second place car, as he went in towards Crook, he went very wide. I think he was trying to take a sweeping line in towards Fine Lady. That just meant he went a little bit too wide. Had to really slow it down before he went too much onto the grass, but that's compromised his speed all the way up the hill to Christmas Corner. So he's going to lose massive amounts of time there. The good news for him is that Johnny Goddard was too far behind to be able to capitalise on that whatsoever. So, someone has just run wide in that gaggle of carts. And how did that happen? One of the cars just exited stage right, and it wasn't really an opportunity to do that at Inkerman's, probably just before he even got to Inkerman's. So I'm not sure how that happened, but J. Elliott Purdy, where's the... what have we got now? We've got 37 seconds, so it should, this time, we'll just get the final lap board rather than the checkered flag. And coming down towards the final corner of the lap to receive that final lap board will still be J. Elliott Purdy. Through he goes. Final lap does indeed flash up. He knows he's just got one more tour of this circuit, and he probably can feel that there's a bigger gap. 5.5 seconds that's gone out to now. Dan Milner has fallen away, but Johnny Goddard is another... 4 and a bit seconds behind us. This gaggle now appear into Pitts Bend, and it is being headed up by Rihanna Percox, who's got herself up into 4th from 20th on the grid, don't forget. Daniel Truman, Owen Burton, James Illman, he's always late, that's what they say. Is he late to this party as well? Pedro Neto in 8th, James Coleman, Henry Miles round out your top 10 at the moment, but our leader is already making his way down through Ashby, heading towards Parker, the left-hander at Parker. He's got a couple of back markers in front of him, but I think that he's going to get this race wrapped up before he encounters them. It doesn't matter even if he does, because the gap back to Dan Milner is significant enough that he doesn't need to push very hard, although he's riding the curbs quite a bit there, surprisingly. I think he's showboating with a bit of drifting as he went down the back straight there. And look at this, it does look like Johnny Goddard is a lot closer to Dan Milner, but I don't think there's going to be anything on the cards this time round. As they come round the boot for the final time, here comes J. Elliott Purdy round Pitts Bend for the final time, runs it wide onto the start finish straight, checkered flag, takes the victory. That's 2 out of 2 for J. Elliott Purdy. What a great performance so far by Jay. Second comes Dan Milner, followed fairly closely this time by Johnny Goddard. And I'm assuming we're going to see 4th for Rihanna Percox. Indeed, Rihanna comes through to take 4th. And then it's this massive gaggle. Daniel Truman, Owen Burton, Pedro Neto, James Illman, Henry Miles, Alex Abbey Taylor comes through in 10th. So made up a few positions after the dramatic loss having been running in 3rd. But what a great race. Great control there by J. Elliott Purdy. And I'd imagine we're going to see him coming back up again to speak to us about yet another race victory. He looked confident when we interviewed him, I must be honest. I think we can see why. Just quickly have a look at the comments. Milner 11th to 2nd in half a lap. Good point, actually. Sorry, I did miss that. Dan Milner finished 2nd, having started 11th. So another one of the great runners. Thanks, James Pargeter. And Nicky Richardson opened the DRS Johnny. Well, Johnny finished 3rd, so he didn't do too badly. From 18th on the grid, so quite a few of them worked up brilliantly through that. And I'm just going to turn to Mum again. That's why we're loving this. That was fabulous, wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant. It's fascinating watching you work as well. I loved it. Can I just say as well that Paul's best mate, Andy Priest, was in that race?
Of course, yes. Sorry. Let's have a look. Andy Priest. 17th. Yeah, he had a spin. But it's, yeah, I should have said that because I had in my notes that he's his very close friend and he's out there. But fabulous entertainment, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I did it the very first year, but I'm an old codger and they absolutely annihilated me. So after that first one, I thought, I'm not doing this again. So I ate for at least a fortnight after, bruises and oh dear. So, my hat off to them all.
Mum, it's your time next.
Oh, no, don't think so. No. Tried it on holiday once and I honestly thought I'd love it because it was Paul's passion and I hated every minute of it.
The thing is that the calibre of these drivers, they're incredible as well, aren't they?
Absolutely, they are. They're amazing. I don't know how they do it.
It is fabulous. It's great entertainment. Let's have another quick look at a video from the Institute of Cancer Research before we get ready for heat number 6.